What if your daily handful of nuts, the same ones you've been told are heart healthy, are quietly raising your risk of stroke, memory loss, or even digestive issues? For adults over 65, your body processes fats and nutrients differently. What worked in your 40s or 50s might now be triggering inflammation, gut discomfort, or even interfering with medications. Some nuts, despite their superfood label, can quietly accelerate aging. You might feel more tired, foggy, or bloated, and never connect it to your snack bowl. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that frequent eating of certain nuts high in omega-6 fatty acids raises inflammation in older adults, increasing the risk of cardiovascular issues. As a doctor working with seniors every day, I've seen this mistake too often. But there's good news. 4 nuts can actually protect your brain, joints, and cardiovascular health if you know which ones to choose. And there's one nut on the never list that might truly shock you. It's commonly marketed as healthy, but for many older adults, it's doing far more harm than good. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What nuts do you snack on daily? Drop your favorites in the comments below. So, before you toss that trail mix, stay with me. This quick guide could help you snack smarter, age stronger, and feel better starting today. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age with grace, stronger hearts, sharper minds, and years that stretch just a little longer? Richard, a retired geologist in his early 70s, found his answer quietly over a handful of walnuts. After losing a friend to sudden cardiac arrest, he began asking not just how long he might live, but how well. A Harvard study he found showed that those who regularly ate walnuts, just 5 servings a week, had a 14% lower risk of death from any cause, and for every half serving added per day, the risk of dying from heart disease dropped by 26%. It wasn't magic. It was measurable. Walnuts are packed with alpha-linolenic acid, an essential omega-3 fat your body doesn't make on its own. Just 1 ounce provides 0.8 grams, a quiet but powerful ally for the aging heart, helping lower triglycerides and soothe inflammation in blood vessels, 2 things that silently raise risk as we age. That brain-like shell isn't just symbolic. Walnuts are rich in antioxidants, like alpha-lipoic acid, that protect brain cells from oxidative damage, potentially slowing cognitive decline. Richard just swapped a daily cookie for a small handful of walnuts, 10 whole ones. Within months, he felt steadier, more focused. His blood pressure dipped. His doctor called it a gentle shift in the right direction. Just like walnut trees secrete a compound called juglone, self-protective and quietly commanding space, the walnut itself is fiercely protective from the inside out. But protection is just the beginning. What about supporting something as fundamental as your bones? Something that doesn't announce its decline until it's almost too late. Sometimes, it's not a radical reinvention that makes the difference. It's a single choice, repeated over time, with intention. Miriam, 72, began experiencing what her doctor called early bone thinning, or osteopenia. What she didn't know then is that a quiet ally might have been sitting in her pantry the whole time. Almonds. Each ounce of almonds, about 24 of them, delivers 80 milligrams of calcium, nearly 8% of what older adults need each day. But it doesn't stop there. Almonds are rich in magnesium, manganese, copper, and zinc, all key minerals that keep our bones strong. Without them, bones lose their resilience, becoming brittle with age, like branches in winter. 1 ounce of almonds also provides 6 grams of protein and fiber, comparable to an egg, plus vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect cells from oxidative stress. For those managing blood sugar or heart health, almonds offer another layer of defense, reducing LDL cholesterol, lowering triglycerides, and even improving insulin sensitivity in people with type 2 diabetes. Not bad for a humble snack that once journeyed with Persian warriors, tucked into satchels for energy during long marches. Remember to stick to sweet almonds, as bitter almonds contain a natural cyanide compound and are banned in many places. But what if you're looking for a nut that does more than energize? One that helps stabilize your blood sugar and supports your heart at the same time. Imagine sitting in a sunlit garden, a small bowl of pistachios resting on the table before you, each shell naturally cracked open, like tiny smiles waiting to be discovered. David, a 68-year-old retired teacher, found these smiling nuts quietly became part of his daily routine for managing blood sugar and keeping his heart healthy without complicated diets. Pistachios, with nearly 20 grams of protein per 100 grams and rich potassium levels, offer more than just a satisfying crunch. Research shows they help maintain healthy cholesterol levels, supporting cardiovascular health that becomes increasingly important with age. For those like David managing blood sugar, pistachios might be a quiet ally. Extracts from pistachio leaves have been found to slow the digestion of carbohydrates by blocking certain enzymes, helping to keep blood glucose levels steadier. Their antioxidants also reduce oxidative stress, which can accelerate complications linked to type 2 diabetes. And when it comes to bones, pistachios bring essential calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin K to the table, nutrients that support bone density. David felt the quiet benefits over time: better energy, steadier moods, and a new appreciation for the little things. Legend whispers that the Queen of Sheba herself declared pistachios a royal treasure. In Persian, they're called smiling nut, thanks to their naturally split shells resembling joyful laughter. So, how about a nut that's a treasure trove of manganese, crucial for strong bones and a humming metabolism? There's something quietly powerful about the pecan, a small nut with a rich history and even richer benefits, especially for those of us navigating the golden years. Evelyn, a retired school teacher, discovered pecans not just as a tasty snack, but as a surprising ally for her heart and bones. Just a handful, about 15 pecans, delivers nearly 60% of the daily manganese you need, like giving your body a gentle reminder to stay sturdy and balanced. Pecans are also rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that guards your heart against the wear and tear of time. Along with flavonoids, they create a protective shield, quietly supporting your cardiovascular health day by day. And if fiber and healthy fats sound familiar, that's because pecans pack those in too, helping with digestion and keeping energy steady. Evelyn felt adding pecans to her routine was a small, manageable step with meaningful rewards. Pecans carry stories older than the nation itself, used as currency by indigenous peoples. The word pecan even comes from an Algonquin term meaning a nut requiring a stone to crack. They were treasured enough that Thomas Jefferson grew pecan trees at Monticello and shared their bounty with George Washington. And what about a nut that can quietly work to keep your bones strong and dense, even protecting your heart without drastic diet changes? Have you ever stopped to think about the quiet power hidden in a simple handful of nuts? Take cashews, for example, a snack that's more than just creamy and delicious. For 68-year-old Martha, who's been managing mild osteoporosis and heart concerns, discovering the benefits of cashews was like uncovering a secret ally in her kitchen. Cashews are packed with copper and magnesium, minerals that quietly work together to keep bones strong and dense. Copper helps maintain bone structure, while magnesium plays a direct role in forming new bone tissue. For someone like Martha, this is no small thing. Cashews also carry manganese, phosphorus, zinc, and vitamins B6 and K, all supporting everything from immune defense to brain health. Studies show that regularly eating cashews can improve the balance between good HDL and bad LDL cholesterol, helping protect the heart without drastic diet changes. For people managing type 2 diabetes, cashews don't spike blood sugar or cause weight gain. Instead, they help lower blood pressure and boost good cholesterol. Cashews weren't always just a tasty snack. Portuguese explorers brought them from Brazil to India in the 1500s to stop soil erosion. Their hard shells contain urushiol, the same irritating chemical found in poison ivy, so cashews are never sold raw, but always carefully roasted or steamed to keep you safe. Beyond the nut, the cashew apple, a juicy, edible stem, is too fragile to ship far. But in Goa, India, locals ferment it into feni, a beloved liquor with centuries of tradition. For Martha, adding about 15 to 18 cashews a day became an easy step toward better bone health, heart support, and a small energy boost. It's a modest change, but one backed by science. So, you've heard about the nuts that can protect your body, but what if some nuts, the ones you trust as healthy snacks, could actually cause hidden problems? What if one bite could quietly worsen a health issue or interfere with medications you rely on? Most people never hear this warning until it's too late. Are you about to discover which nuts might be doing more harm than good, and why that matters more now than ever? Because when it comes to aging, knowing which nuts to avoid or eat cautiously isn't just helpful, it could be essential for your well-being. Your next snack might be hiding a risk you never expected. Take Brazil nuts, for example. They're often celebrated for their powerful antioxidant punch, thanks to selenium, a mineral that quietly supports your thyroid and helps fight inflammation. But here's the catch. Brazil nuts are so packed with selenium that just a couple can easily push you past the safe daily limit. 1 ounce of Brazil nuts, about 8 medium-sized nuts, contains over 500 micrograms of selenium, nearly 8 times the recommended daily amount. Eating too many, especially regularly, isn't just unnecessary, it can be dangerous. This condition, called selenosis, might start with subtle signs like bad breath or feeling unusually tired, but it can escalate to skin problems, digestive troubles, nerve pain, and in rare cases, serious issues like kidney failure or heart problems. For seniors whose bodies process minerals differently, the risk is even more important to understand. The simple solution? Keep it to just 1 to 3 Brazil nuts a day and treat them like a special treat rather than a daily habit. If you're already taking selenium supplements, it's best to avoid Brazil nuts altogether to prevent stacking up too much. While they contain trace amounts of radium, the levels are so low they pose no harm in normal amounts. Brazil nuts grow only in wild rainforests and cannot be farmed easily, making their harvest a delicate indicator of the Amazon's health. This balance helps you enjoy their benefits without risking toxicity. But Brazil nuts are not the only ones that can cause issues. Have you considered how the way your nuts are prepared might be impacting your health? You might find yourself wondering why your blood pressure spikes or your energy crashes soon after reaching for a handful of nuts. For many older adults, nuts are a go-to snack, praised for their heart-healthy fats, vitamins, and antioxidants. But not all nuts are created equal. Linda, a lively 68-year-old, loved her daily nut mix of sweet honey roasted almonds and salted cashews. It felt wholesome until her doctor raised a red flag about her rising blood pressure and stubborn weight gain. The problem? Those tempting flavors often come with a hidden cost. Salted, sugared, or candied nuts can quietly erase the health benefits that raw or dry roasted nuts offer. Excess sodium, found in salted nuts, is a well-known culprit behind high blood pressure, a concern that grows with age and increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Many flavored nuts are coated in sweeteners that pack as much sugar as a candy bar, fueling inflammation and blood sugar spikes, counteracting the nut's natural power to support weight control and metabolic health. These coatings are engineered for maximum appeal, a bliss point, designed to keep you reaching for more, much like junk food. This marketing tactic dates back to the 1950s, when flavored nuts were used to mask rancid oils and old stock. Today, they're cleverly sold as healthy snacks, playing on the good reputation of plain nuts to lure us in. The good news? You don't have to give up nuts to protect your heart and body. Choosing raw, unsalted, or dry roasted varieties lets you enjoy healthy fats, antioxidants, and essential minerals without the extra salt or sugar. Just remember to check labels carefully for hidden sugars and sodium. But beyond the preparation, could something naturally occurring in even plain nuts be causing problems for your body? At 74, Samuel, who prided himself on his heart-healthy choices, especially his love for nuts, suddenly experienced sharp pain and was diagnosed with kidney stones. He was baffled. How could something so natural be behind this? The answer lay in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds found in many plant foods, including his beloved walnuts and almonds. For most, oxalates pose little problem, but for those like Samuel, with a history of kidney stones and digestive struggles, these compounds quietly turn from friend to foe. Oxalates latch onto calcium inside the kidneys, forming tiny crystals sharp enough to cause unbearable pain. Even more surprising, oxalates can actually interfere with calcium absorption, subtly weakening bones and vessels over time. What felt like a simple, healthy snack was, in fact, a hidden trigger. Samuel learned that combining oxalate-rich foods with calcium-rich ones during the same meal helps bind those troublesome compounds before they reach the kidneys. Drinking plenty of water also became his new priority. By soaking and lightly roasting his nuts, he could reduce some of the oxalate load. Nuts like peanuts, walnuts, pecans, and mixed nuts contain high levels of oxalates, which may increase the risk of calcium oxalate kidney stones in susceptible individuals. If you're prone to kidney stones, it's wise to limit these nuts, pair them with calcium-rich foods, and maintain good hydration. Always consult your healthcare provider to find the best approach for your health. Samuel's story reminds us that even the healthiest habits deserve a closer look. But it's not just oxalates. Another natural compound in nuts could be affecting your mineral absorption. George, a retired teacher in his 70s, was proud of his heart-healthy habit of eating walnuts and almonds daily, believing they provided the nutrients he needed. But despite his careful diet, George's blood work showed low magnesium and borderline anemia. His doctor asked if he was eating mostly plant-based, and George confirmed, lots of nuts. Not much red meat. That's when the conversation turned to phytic acid, found in nearly all nuts, especially almonds, Brazil nuts, and walnuts. Phytic acid binds to minerals like iron, zinc, calcium, and magnesium, locking them away before your body can absorb them. If your diet includes meat and dairy, this might not be a major issue, as heme iron and zinc from animal sources are better absorbed. But if you're leaning into plant-based eating, these bound-up minerals can quietly accumulate into deficiencies. Ancient cultures knew this, always soaking or gently roasting nuts before eating, which softens the phytic acid's grip. Interestingly, phytic acid isn't all bad. It may protect against certain cancers and has antioxidant properties. All nuts contain phytic acid, which can bind to important minerals, potentially reducing absorption. However, this is usually not a concern if you maintain a balanced diet. Soaking or sprouting nuts can help lower phytic acid levels, and those who eat meat tend to be less affected. If you have concerns about mineral deficiencies, always consult a healthcare professional. So, While considering the nutrients in nuts, have you also considered the physical risks they might pose, especially as we age? On a quiet winter evening, Ruth, at 74, experienced a sharp cough, panic, and breathlessness after biting into a whole nut from a mixed bowl. Her story isn't rare. Emergency room visits from choking on nuts spike every holiday season. While they might seem harmless, for older adults, they can quietly become one of the most overlooked hazards. As we age, our ability to chew and swallow changes. Jaw and throat muscles weaken, and saliva production slows, especially for those on certain medications. Dentures or minor neurological changes can make even a Brazil not a serious challenge. The dry, crumbly texture doesn't help either. It sticks and catches, but it's not about giving up the healthy fats and protein that nuts provide. It's about making smart choices. Many cultures serve nuts ground into pastes, blended into dishes, or finely chopped into soft foods like yogurt or porridge. Smooth, spreadable nut butters offer a safer alternative. For those who still enjoy the crunch, adding ground nuts to smoothies or puddings keeps the flavor without the risk. Whole, hard nuts can pose a choking hazard for seniors with chewing or swallowing difficulties. To stay safe, offer nuts in softer forms, encourage slow eating, and thorough chewing. If choking is a concern, avoiding eating alone is always a good idea. So, we've covered the nuts to enjoy and the common pitfalls to avoid. But there's a final, crucial point about dispelling outdated advice regarding nuts and digestive health. When Ruth turned 74, her doctor handed her a sheet of foods to be cautious with, and nuts were on that list, often linked to diverticulitis. But recent research tells a different story. Not only do nuts not cause diverticulitis flare-ups, they may actually prevent them. Their fiber supports digestive health, gently encouraging regularity, which so often becomes a quiet struggle with age. That's just the beginning. Nuts are rich in heart-healthy fats, protein, and antioxidants, all supporting better cardiovascular function, sharper cognition, and steadier blood sugar. But here's where it gets personal. Not every nut is perfect for every person. For someone with dentures or swallowing difficulties, a raw almond can be more risk than reward, while a smooth nut butter offers the same benefits safely. And for seniors managing thyroid or heart medications, timing matters. Some nutrients in nuts can subtly interfere with how those drugs are absorbed. It's not a reason to avoid them, but a reason to coordinate with your healthcare provider. The best foods aren't just healthy, they're healthy for you. That means thinking about digestion, medications, mobility, and even your personal tastes. If these insights help you make smarter, safer choices for your health, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more science-backed guidance crafted for the way you live now. And remember, but there's one thing we haven't talked about yet, how some everyday foods like certain cheeses can either support your health or quietly hold you back. If you skip this, what you've learned about choosing the right nuts and foods might not give you the full picture. So, next up, we're diving into 4 cheeses you should never touch, and 4 you must eat daily if you're over 60. Understanding this could be the missing link to aging with strength and comfort. There's still plenty to uncover, so let's keep going and make sure you get the full story.